PowerTaxx Steve, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. On your new money class, what was you saying?
Yes, that the fundamental foundation of the money class are three immutable, irrefutable financial principles, which are basically three things that should definitely be done with money or understood about money. And those three immutable, irrefutable principles are: one is accumulation. Money and things of value are to be understood to be accumulated as opposed to be understood as things to be spent. It's to be understood to be something which is to be accumulated. Accumulation is the first principle. The second principle is investiture. Investiture, meaning it should be seen as that which is to be invested, self being the first investment. And then after investing in oneself or paying oneself first, one then goes down the list of investiture, how to utilize income so that their revenue creates more revenue. And the third principle is startup, that one should utilize their money to start their own entity, something that they own, where they are the president, the CEO, something which has a vehicle through which they can execute their own future vision as far as developing wealth and leaving something for generational wealth. Okay. So those are three basic principles. And then each one, it's like a door that you open, and then you enter into all the different departments. So again, summary is the three immutable, irrefutable financial principles are.
Hold on. Let me get the name. I got the principles written down. I didn't get the long name. Hold on. The three irrefutable.
Yes, immutable, irrefutable financial principles.
That's cool. I get it. I'll get it off the recording. Okay, I'm with you.
And they are, number one
accumulation.
Is accumulation, right? And then under accumulation, there is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like that. Then I break it down from there.
Okay.
Number two is investiture.
How you spell that for the record?
Investiture?
Yeah.
It would be investure.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's how you spell
investiture.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm doing is taking the idea of investing, but creating the bigger picture of it. It's investiture. It's a principle. It's not just a thing where, okay, do you invest? Yeah, I invest in the stock market. Well, that's not the whole concept of investing. That's one way to invest some funds. So by utilizing the principle of investiture, then we understand the investment of time, the investment of energy, investing in ourselves, and investing in the stock market. But you understand, but the whole concept is about investing. It's not just I invest in the stock market. Right. There are lots of investments that are required. And then number three is startup.
Right.
Startup means to create something that belongs to you. Your own entity, your own company, your own industry, or whatever it may be. But and if a person utilizes their money in those three and use those three principles, you're going to win.
Right.
Ultimately.
Right. And Steve, man, I'm going to tell you the truth, man. I mean, I would have never thought you would have taught this. This is the hustle. Accumulate, you got to get your seed money together. Then you invest in yourself. I'm going to go ahead and get me whatever, if it's a hot dog cart or whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Start up, boom, KC's hot dogs. I mean, that's my real life story with the hot dog cart, though. You know what I mean? But that's good that you can teach this, because a lot of people just not that in that frame of mind.
Absolutely.
Cool. That's cool. And you could accumulate with that gold account, so that's really great.
That's right. That's right.
That's an easy way to get up the ladder.
Exactly. Because then I bring in the idea of the goal, like in that first section of accumulation. Because under accumulation, you have saving, right? You have the means by which you're going to accumulate, whether that's a job or by some type of hustle.
Right.
You're going to accumulate, and then one of the principles under that same accumulation will be saving. Right, then the emergency savings, like how much you need as an emergency stash, so that it's like capital. It's like when you run a company, you need capital, right? Just in case. So in the same way, in your own personal economy, you need some capital. So that would be your emergency savings to the side, and then after savings, then we talk about what's the best vehicle. Because remember, if we're saving in cash, right, then we're still being subject to inflation.
Right.
So our fiat currency is still being deflated, still being eaten away, still being deteriorated by inflation. So if we are going to save, and if we're going to save over the long term, then we do a conversion, then convert the cash into gold. And saving that means, because then you're also preserving the value of what you're saving.
Right.
So that would all be right there in that first, in the first door, accumulation.
Right. Well, you already told me that was rule number 1: never save in the same thing that you spend it. So, and that we just can't escape that. Anytime I talk to you, can't escape that. Never save in the same thing that you spend it. Rule number 1.
Yeah.
Real money.
Exactly.
Never chase the fake money. And that's what it's all about.
That's right. You take that and convert it.
Yeah.
Because that's how most, that's because of the economy that we live in. That's what we're going to get paid in primarily, is in fiat.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is get the fiat and convert.
ASAP.
And convert. And that's the same principle just in general, because you're going to take your fiat and then convert it into assets anyway.
Right.
That's what you should be doing. Because like the formula that I think of often is you take your cash, convert that into assets. You convert your assets into wealth, and you convert your wealth into power. Right. So that's another formula.
Right.
So I'm pretty good at like being able to see formulas, like to take a lot of information. I digest the information, and then after I digest the information, many times I'm able to come up with the essence of that information and put it in a formula format so people can digest it, use it, and get busy.
Wow. Okay. Tell them how many books you read again, man.
What'd you say? How many? What?
Tell them how many books you read again. Tell them that.
Yeah.
Just so they know that you're official.
Hey, man.
I mean, they can tell.
I've read hundreds, man, and I'm still reading. But like we're saying here, it's about reading and researching and questioning and interviewing and learning from others, and then taking that information and actually being able to digest it and to put it in action. So that's, everybody has their, expertise and their strong points and their good qualities and all that. And I think one of the things I'm pretty good at is being able to ingest a lot of information and then take that information and put it in a format where it's understandable. Put it into like an action plan.
Right.
Because a lot of information with no action is, equivalent to constipation.
Right.
Right? They ain't gonna get nothing done. Just gonna be full of it.
That's the people that be down front shouting all day, and then you don't see them for a week.
Exactly. Nothing gets done.
Yeah.
Nothing gets done. Sometimes, people ask me, well, what do you believe in? Well, I'll tell you what I believe. I believe in results. What do you believe in?
A guy I do a lot of mentor stuff from he says, he with his program, they say, hey man, do you guarantee it? He says, well, I can't guarantee it. He said, well, why can't you guarantee it? He said, because I'm not the one doing it. He said, now, if I was doing it, I guarantee you I can get this done. This is easy. But with you doing it, man, I don't know what you're gonna bring to the table. You know what I mean? You the X. But that's real. That's real.
Yeah, man.
Come on with it. Let's go.
Yep, exactly. Results, man. Results are real. It's a lot of theories, and a lot of hope and a lot of hype. But what about results?
What's the best way to get your mind to get you to the results?
The best way to get your mind to get you to results?
Yeah.
Hey, it's execution.
Execution.
Once your behavior lines up with your conviction, you're on your way. So you need to know what it is you're convinced about. You need to be able to control your inner sense of conviction. In other words, you need to be able to program yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Once you can program yourself and then you align your behavior with your intentional programming, that's it. Everything else is just pretty much enjoyable from there. It's a journey, but you understand the journey because you understand your destination, you understand where you're going, and on your way there, during the journey, you get a lot of pleasure and pain in the journey, but as long as you know where you're going, you could definitely get there. So I think in order to get your mind to be able to produce the result, your belief and your conviction needs to be consistent with your behavior. And you're going to get the results. It's like a person, you could give me a whole bunch of recipes, right? And a whole lot of knowledge about food. But if I never cook anything, I'm still not a cook because I never cook. I just have the information, but I ain't really into it. Mm-hmm. So if I actually take that information that you gave me and I actually execute the recipe, I'm going to get food. I could feed myself, nourish myself, be healthy, all that good stuff. But without my behavior following my knowledge, I'm not going to get the result. Right. Either one. Or if I have behavior, but I don't have the right programming, I'm still going to get the wrong result. Because I got the wrong program. Just like the analogy of a cell phone or a laptop. If you want to be able to do editing of photos, you need to have photo editing software on your hard drive. If you don't have the editing software, you're not going to be able to edit photos. You can hope, wish, pray, plead, march, picket, do whatever you want, but you don't have the program, you're not going to be able to do it. So, again, it has to be in alignment. I have to align myself. I need to make sure that my mind is properly programmed to bring about the results that I want. Pretty much.
Absolutely. How do you do that?
That's intentional.
Intentional.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be intentional. You have to be self-reflective. You have to actually sit down, slow down, pump your brakes.
Right.
Get off the speed track of running in circles.
Right.
And following everybody else and trying to keep up with everything that's going on and, looking on Instagram and say, oh, this, we got that. And I can, no, mm-hmm. Everybody on Instagram is all at a different level. We ain't all at the same level. Some just started, some been doing what they're doing for 30 years. Mm-hmm. That's why they got the results they got. Mm-hmm. So then I look at Instagram, I see a man, you know what I'm saying, who's who's achieved very significant things, and I think I'm supposed to be there too. Well, yeah, but you're only missing one little small part, the 30-year part. Okay.
Like they say, Michael Jackson got lucky with that one album, his first album. He been singing for 15 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, or like they say, the overnight. What was the saying? There was this old saying that say, "My overnight success took me 20 years."
20 years, yeah.
You know, for me to have an overnight success, it looks like an overnight success to the outsider.
To the outsider,
right? You know, to the outsider, it may look like that, but hey, you know, practically each person I speak to that's in business that has accomplished anything, or not only in business, but even in self-awareness or self-realization or health or anything, you know, any accomplishment, you go to the gym and you look at the people in the gym and you see people that's, you know, in very good condition. You generally, if you ask them, you know, how long you've been doing this, they're like, oh, I've been doing this for years. You know what I'm saying? Really does a person say, oh, well, I just started coming to the gym last week and, you know, I'm in tip-top shape, you know, in condition. It just doesn't work like that. That's against the laws of nature, you know? So if you align yourself with the laws of nature, you know, then you're definitely going to be moving in the right direction. How long does it take? Hey, I think that's an individual thing.
right?
I don't think there's any, you know, I don't know. Some people, you know, may be relatively short. Some people may be long, you know, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. You know, what matters is that I'm headed in the right direction.
Yep.
Because if I'm headed in the wrong direction, it doesn't matter how fast I run. Because I'm headed in the wrong direction. So I might be the fastest runner out there, but I'm running the wrong damn direction. So what good does it do me to be running fast? Better walk slowly in the right direction than to run quickly in the wrong direction.
Right. Guy asked me, he said, man, I like this gold thing you're doing. He said, how long is it going to take me to make some money? I said, when you going to go to work? You know what I mean?
How about that?
And then what are you going to do? Like, you know, are you going to be dedicated? Are you going to commit yourself to it? I mean, you know, I said, man, it's about creating generational wealth 1 gram at a time. I said, you can save 20 grams a week, but I mean, if you don't tell nobody, you won't change the nation. I said, you could change your life, but it's how hard are you going to go, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. The society that we live in, you know, is very efficient and effective at pumping us full of false visions, false directions, illusions, mirages, you know, hypnotism. You know, corporations specialize in hypnotism. Yeah, that's how they get your money. They hypnotize you. So we may not call it being hypnotized, but hey, I see people going to the lotto machine every day. As far as I'm concerned, that person is hypnotized. Because are you really thinking for yourself? And I see people getting online. They're going to the lottery every day or every other day or ever how many days they're doing it. As far as I'm concerned, those people are hypnotized. You know, they really are expending their energy, their time, their money, and everything in something that chances are is never going to bear them any real fruits. Never. And we can look at the statistics on that one. So that's not just a personal opinion.
Right.
But they're doing it.
They're doing it faithfully.
Faithfully, man. Faithfully. They really believe in it. They talk about it, you know, the different types of lottery and the different types of cards and the different types of scratch-offs. They're like scholars. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Steve, man, I done heard this talk so many times, man. I'm that dude. Hold on 1 second, Steve. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm that dude, Steve. They come on, man, with this lottery. Old heads be like, listen, I was hitting regular. And I know that talk. I didn't play the big long one. I played a 3-digit, and it works for me. But I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Exactly.
I know what
You know,
you're
I mean,
saying.
I'm pretty sure there's some people, understand a little bit of the science behind it. But I'm just talking about most people, and these are like a lot of like senior citizens, man. And
Right.
I don't think, that should be my destination. That's where I'm going to wind up,
Right.
on the line for the lottery.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think that should be the direction that we should be headed in.
Steve, I'm honest to God trying not to be the guy 65 years old cashing checks and loaning money. You know what I mean? I mean, because, I ain't a traditional work kind of guy. You know what I mean? So I'm desperately trying not to end up like that.
Exactly. And, as far as I'm concerned, it's about having a formula and following a formula. And then, if that formula, as we get by, we make more advancements and we improve on the formula. We may need to, but we need a formula. I think as a human being, we need a formula. Just like even animals in the jungle, animals may be in the jungle, but actually they follow like some type of formula. Animals know like where to be, that's where it's safe. You know what I'm saying? You can't just wander out, you know what I'm saying, into somebody else's territory. You got to know where you're going, what you're doing, what's your goal, how to protect your children, and how to get food and all that. So, even animals, have that type of intelligence. A form. There must be some kind of formula, some kind of format that we're following. And if it's not working, change it.
Is that? Go ahead. What you was going to say?
No, go ahead. What was your question?
I was going to say, is that why you always push the gold up front, like the accumulation?
Exactly. That's why I push the idea of having a formula.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I have a formula, even if I go off, I can always come back.
Okay.
Because I got a formula. I got a game plan. We need to have a game plan. Even if I'm going to change the plan tomorrow, or like the philosophy that I use is that you write your goals in stone, but you write your plans in the sand. Because you may have to change your plans because there's too many things out external to me that I have no control over that can change.
Goals in stone, plans in sand. I like that.
Yeah. Because, I might have to change my plan because whatever, I got sick or whatever, anything could happen, The economy crashed, there's, my revenues dried up in this particular business or whatever, anything could happen. And I need to be able to adjust. My goals, though, are pretty much, that I don't really have to change them. I could, but they could be pretty steady. But how I get there, I may have to call that into question.
Right.
Business partners die, all kinds of things happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to change plans. I can't be like, no, I'm going to do this so let's say me and you, we have a partnership. Right? We have a legal business partnership. Well, if I die, the partnership's over. Period. That's, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what happens in partnerships. If a partner dies, the partnership is legally over. So then I gotta regroup. So we gotta be flexible.
Right, you gotta all the way regroup.
Oh, sorry about that, brother. We got dropped.
No, that was me. I hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button. But look, I do got to get out of here, PowerTaxx, Steve, man. Anything,
yes, sir.
Anything you got to tell the tax people before we roll out?
Hey, man, just understand that that understanding taxes is an essential part of your financial development. Because we're paying anywhere between 40 to 50% of our revenues in taxes. So we need to understand like where that money is vanishing to, and understand that formula, make that formula so that we can create our own situation. That's that.
Cool. That's cool. Hey, man, on the next episode, man, I want to talk about Robert Kiyosaki sent me a video. Not paying taxes. They ain't paying no taxes. Can we break that one down?
Well, yeah, we definitely talk about that. Yeah.
I know I'm with the right dude. Definitely know I'm with the right dude. All right.
All
Ah,
right, my brother.
thanks a lot, man. Take it easy.
All right, speak to you soon.